Small-town mechanic shop. Dusk rain whispers against the tin roof like a worn lullaby. A single flickering bulb dangles above an open hood, casting long shadows over Luke, early 40s, grease-stained hands, jaw set in quiet thought. He wears a faded blue jumpsuit, name tag stitched crooked. Luke. His fingers tighten a bolt. Then pause. Some men carry grief in silence. Others carry it under fingernails, buried in rust and oil. Tools clink softly on the tray. A dusty photo frame sits near the workbench. A young girl in pigtails, arms wrapped around Luke's waist. His daughter, MIA. 7. Luke wipes his brow with the back of his hand, smearing more oil than sweat. In the corner, a crockpot hums on low. A tired man's dinner. He glances at the clock. 7:41 p.m. He limps toward the back door, stiffness in his walk, an old injury that never quite healed. The rain picks up outside, louder now. Widower, mechanic, father. I wasn't much else these days, but every day I got to tuck her in. Felt like enough. He opens a small lunchbox, pulls out a peanut butter sandwich, and takes a bite. Through the cracked window, headlights pass and disappear. Silence returns. He walks over to the cot behind a curtain, gently folds a blanket. There's a stuffed bear tucked under the pillow. Mia's been here, again, waiting through his shifts, drawing on spare invoices. Luke smiles faintly. He picks up one of the drawings, a crooked car with hearts for wheels. Suddenly, knock, knock. A sharp knock echoes through the shop. Luke freezes. No one ever knocks this late. The rain drowns everything else out. The knock comes again, louder this time. He sets down the drawing, walks slowly toward the door, and opens it. Mechanic shop. Front door. Night. Luke opens the garage door to a gust of wind and the soft roar of rain. Standing there, soaked to the bone, is a pregnant woman, late 20s, trembling in a thin cardigan. Her long hair clings to her cheeks, eyes swollen, not from water, but something older, deeper. Luke, quietly. You lost? Woman, hoarse. No, just stuck. Please, I need a ride. To the hospital. Luke hesitates, his eyes scanning the dark street behind her. No car, no umbrella, just her and the rain. Luke, ambulance would be faster. Woman, shakes head fast. No ambulance. Just, please, you're the only open place I saw. She clutches her stomach. Not in pain yet, but holding something fragile. Luke grabs his keys from the hook, still watching her. Luke. All right, let's go. Truck's out back. She breathes out, part relief, part exhaustion. He grabs his jacket, throws it over her shoulders. Woman. Thank you. I didn't know where else to go. They step out into the rain. He unlocks the truck, helps her in gently. He slides into the driver's seat, starts the engine. Headlights cut through the darkness. Luke. You got someone waiting at the hospital? Woman, softly. Not anymore. Luke glances at her. She doesn't explain. Luke. You sure you don't want an ambulance? She turns to him, eyes full of something unspoken. Woman. I trust my gut. And right now, it says I'm safer with you. The truck rumbles forward. Rain taps on the windshield like a metronome to a story neither of them knows yet. Sometimes, the people who need you most don't come with warning lights. They just show up, soaked and scared. And they ask for a ride. Back roads. Night. Moving truck. The rain has slowed, but the windshield wipers still whisper. Luke's pickup truck rolls through winding rural roads. Headlights slice through mist and tall trees. Beside him, the woman sits quietly, wrapped in his jacket, hands resting on her round belly. A long silence hangs. Not awkward, just heavy. Luke, low. You sure the hospital's this far out? Woman. It's the next town. Farther, but safer. She keeps her gaze fixed on the road ahead. Her voice wavers between calm and hunted. Luke. You running from something? She doesn't answer, just leans back, eyes fluttering shut for a second. Luke didn't mean to pry. Woman. No, it's okay. Pauses. I guess I'm just tired of places where people knew me, but didn't see me. He glances at her briefly. Luke. I get that, woman you. You look like a man folks trust to fix anything. Luke. Things. Sure. Beat. People? Not so much. They share a faint, fragile smile. The truck hits a pothole. She winces. Luke. Sorry, woman. It's fine. She takes a breath, then looks at him, serious now. Woman. What about you? You always drive pregnant strangers through storms? Luke, first time, chuckles softly. Guess you looked like someone who'd been through enough rain. She studies him again, longer this time. But before she can respond, she gasps. Hand flies to her belly. Woman. Oh, wait. Luke, gripping the wheel. What's wrong? Woman, fighting a breath. Something shifted. Something's wrong. Luke scans the roadside. Forest on both sides. Nowhere to pull over. Sometimes the road you're on isn't the one you planned, but it's the one that tests who you really are. Wooded back road, night. The rain thickens again, slapping the windshield like panic in liquid form. Luke grips the steering wheel tight, eyes darting between the winding road and the woman, now clutching her belly, her breathing shallow and fast. Luke. We're almost there. Just hold on, all right? Woman, strained. Something's not right. It's too soon. A jolt. The truck sputters. Dashboard lights flash. Luke. No. The engine dies. The truck rolls to a slow, wheezing stop on the side of the road. Only the sound of rain fills the silence. Then, woman, panicked. Why are we stopping? Luke. She stalled. I'll get us moving again. He jumps out into the rain, throws open the hood. Steam hisses up like a ghost exhaling. He fumbles with wires, the flashlight between his teeth shaking with every breath. Woman, OS, shouting from inside the truck. It hurts. Oh God, Luke, his name. She remembers his name. Luke, still under the hood. Just 1 second. He pulls a wrench, tightens something with shaking hands. Nothing. He slams the hood shut and runs to the passenger side. Her face is pale, eyes glassy, pain etched into every corner. Woman, faintly. There's no signal. She holds up her phone. Dead screen. Useless. Luke. We'll figure it out. I've been in worse. He places a hand gently on hers, grounding her. Woman, whispers. I think the baby's coming. Silence. Then thunder. There are storms you prepare for, and storms that arrive when you're already broken open. Wooded back road, inside truck, night. Luke slams the truck door shut and rushes to the passenger side. Rain trickles down the cracked window like nervous tears. The woman is folded over, breath sharp, lips pressed tight to stifle a cry. Luke. Okay. Deep breaths. Can you move at all? Woman, gritted. I don't know. He opens the door, kneels in the wet gravel. Luke, I'm gonna help you lie down. Truck's too cramped. She nods weakly. Luke lifts her gently, coat shielding her from the rain. He lays her across the back seat, now lined with his jacket and Mia's blanket. I hadn't touched a battlefield in years. But pain, panic, those sounds don't change. Not even out here. Flash. Tent. Military Field Hospital. Years ago. Young Luke, hands slick with blood, presses gauze to a soldier's leg. Commander, OS. Breathe, Corporal. You panic. They bleed. Back to present. Luke opens his emergency kit from under the seat. Just a few bandages, water, gloves. Luke. All right. I need you to stay with me. Tell me your name. Woman, panting. Eva? Luke Eva. Good. I'm Luke, and I've got you. Okay, Eve. Okay. He gently presses her belly, listens for sound or movement. His brow furrows. Luke. You're gonna be all right. Baby too. You just have to trust me. He tears off his glove, places a warm hand against her forehead. Her eyes search his face, lips trembling, not from pain now, but recognition. EVA whispers, "You remind me of someone." Luke. "Yeah?" Eva. "Someone who used to fix everything, until he couldn't anymore." Thunder rolls overhead. The forest watches, silent, still. Sometimes you're not the person they lost. You're just the one who shows up when they need someone again. Luke's truck, back seat. Night rain taps gently now. Softer, almost apologetic. Eva lies curled up in the back seat, pain subsiding for the moment, breath slowing. Luke sits up front, turned halfway toward her, arms crossed, eyes heavy with questions he doesn't want to ask. But he does. "Luke, that's someone you said I remind you of. Who was he?" Eva doesn't answer right away. She stares out the fogged window, fingers tracing invisible shapes on the glass. EVA. He used to say, "Sometimes peace looks like a runaway." I never understood what he meant, until I became one. Luke. "You running from someone?" Eva pauses. "I'm not just running. I'm hiding." Luke's brows tighten. Luke. "The father?" Eva's hand clutches the baby blanket beneath her. EVA. "If you want to turn around, I'll understand." Luke. Eva. EVA. "He's not just a man. He's a name, a last name that can open doors, or slam them shut with lawyers, cops, and money. No one questions." Luke leans forward, gripping the steering wheel like it's the only solid thing in the world. Luke. "You scared he'll find you?" Evia. "I know he will. It's only a matter of time. And when he does," her voice cracks, "he won't want me. He'll want him." Luke swallows hard, emotion rising in his throat. Luke. "You should have told someone sooner." EVA. "I did." Beat. "They told me to stop being dramatic. Some people don't flee for safety. They flee for silence, for a moment where no one tells them it's their fault." She curls tighter into the blanket, eyes fluttering closed. Luke watches her, like he's already made a decision. Rural road, night. The rain begins to let up, mist curling like breath from the earth. Luke slams the hood shut again, engine useless. Ava's breathing grows uneven behind him. Luke, calling out, "Hold on, Ava. Just a little longer." He scans the tree line. Nothing but black. Then, in the distance, red and blue lights flicker faintly through the fog. Luke. Yes. He grabs the flashlight, climbs onto the truck's hood, waves wildly. Luke, over and over. "Hey, over here, we need help." A patrol car creeps around the bend, tires sloshing against the soaked road. It slows, stops. The officer, mid-30s, steps out cautiously, hand near his holster. "Officer, what's the emergency?" Luke. "She's in labor. Back seat. We need transport now." The officer looks inside, sees Ava, pale and whispering a name. Luke's. "Officer. We'll call an EMT, but there's a clinic 15 minutes from here. Let's move." They transfer Eva into the back seat of the cruiser. Luke tries to follow, but the officer halts him. "Officer. Just family for now." Luke. Gruff. "She's got no one else." "Officer. Get in." Patrol car, moving, night. Sirens wail. Ava lies with her head in Luke's lap. Her hand finds his. EVA whispers, "Thank you." Luke. "You're all right. You're all right. Just a little further." She nods weakly, eyes fluttering. Sometimes hope doesn't arrive like lightning. It arrives like a stranger with headlights in the dark. Clinic. Emergency entrance. Night nurses rush out. Luke helps lift her into the wheelchair. EVA, murmuring as they wheel her in. "Stay. Just stay." Clinic waiting room, later. Luke waits, then, nurse, OS. "She's gone." Luke shoots up. Luke. "What?" Nurse. "She left. Checked out. No name, no ID." Luke stares, stunned. "She vanished the same way she came. Like rain on a windshield. Just enough to blur the view." Clinic waiting room, night. The rain has stopped. The world outside the glass is still. Luke stands frozen as the nurse's words echo in the silence. Nurse. She left before dawn, slipped out quietly. No signature, no forwarding number. Luke's eyes flicker across the room. One empty chair, one folded blanket. He walks to it slowly. Kneels. It's the same soft blue blanket that was in his truck, the one he wrapped around her. But now, wrapped inside, is something else. A sealed envelope. His fingers hesitate over the flap. He sits down, elbows on knees, opens it carefully. Some letters are written not to be answered, but to be remembered. Inside, a note. Handwritten. No name at the bottom. The paper trembles in his hands. EVA. VO. Reading the letter. You saved a life tonight. Not just mine. His. Maybe even yours. I couldn't let you carry my storm any longer. But I left something behind. Not because I forgot, but because I wanted you to remember this wasn't a dream. Luke swallows hard. His throat tightens. At the bottom, I owe you more than I can say. So maybe this is a beginning. Tucked behind the note is a business card. Elegant, gold-trimmed. A name, Eva Halston Wright. A title, Vice President, Halston Automotive Group. Luke stares at it. He leans back in the chair, the blanket clutched in his hands. Rain resumes outside, gentle this time. Some people walk out of your life, to leave space for what they planted inside you to grow. Luke wipes his face, then closes his fist around the card, and exhales. Luke's garage. Day sunlight slips through the high window panes, dust dancing in golden beams. The clatter of metal tools fills the silence. Normal, familiar. But Luke moves slower today, more careful. Like the letter from last night rearranged his bones. The blanket sits folded on the workbench now, clean, untouched. The envelope beside it, creased, reread. He pulls out the business card again, its gold trim catching the light. I'd been fixing other people's engines for 20 years, but nothing prepared me for fixing the way something written could pull you apart. Luke turns the card over. On the back, another line, handwritten. Come find me if you're ready to stop surviving. He exhales hard, shakes his head, tosses the card on the bench like it's hot to the touch. MIA, OS. Daddy? Luke turns. Mia, still in her pajamas, stands at the edge of the garage, hair messy, clutching her stuffed bear. Luke. Hey, bug. Thought you were still asleep. MIA. You didn't come in last night. Luke bends down to her level. Luke. I was just thinking. Beat. About someone I met. MIA. Was it a friend? Luke considers the word. Finally nods. Luke. I think she was trying to be. Mia walks over, eyes the folded blanket. MIA. That's not ours. Luke. No. Pause. But maybe it's meant for us anyway. He looks back at the card, jaw tightening. Then, he picks it up. Sometimes the letter doesn't sting because of what it says. It stings because it dares you to believe again. Luke pulls his cleanest flannel from a hanger. He's going. Downtown cityscape. Day. The city looms like a different planet. Glass, chrome, and cold, breathless pace. Luke's old pickup groans between Teslas and black-tinted SUVs. His calloused hands grip the wheel tighter with every stoplight. I'd built my whole life under open skies and rusted roofs. This place? It smelled like cologne and concrete. Too clean to be trusted. He pulls up to a towering building. Halston Automotive Headquarters. Steel and glass twist upward like ambition frozen in architecture. The valet eyes Luke's truck like it's leaking something contagious. Valet, can I help you, sir? Luke, holding up the card. I got a meeting. Valet name. Luke, just Luke. He's waved through after a call. Halston lobby. Moments later. Marble floors. Chandelier. Reception desk the size of a small diner. Luke's boots echo against polished stone. His reflection stares back at him from every shiny surface. Suits pass by, barely glancing. One woman frowns at the grease under his fingernails. He reaches the front desk. Receptionist. Can I help you? Luke. I was told someone here's expecting me. She taps a few keys, then looks up. Receptionist elevator. Top floor. He steps inside. Elevator. Ascending. Each ding feels like a countdown. He stares at his reflection in the gold elevator walls. Rough face, sun-worn lines. He runs a hand through his hair. Tries not to look nervous. Fails. Sometimes you don't walk into a new world. You ride a silent elevator into it and hope you're enough. Top floor. Private lobby. Doors open. A man in a tailored black suit waits beside a large oak door. Suited man. Mr. Luke? Luke nods. Suited man. She's been expecting you. Halston Executive Suite. Day, the oak door opens slowly. Sunlight spills through tall glass walls, framing the skyline like a living painting. At the center of the office, a woman stands beside a vintage car on display. White silk blouse, flowing, elegant. Her hair is up, poised, sharp. Luke steps in, stunned, silent. She turns. It's Ava. No hospital gown, no panic. Just power wrapped in calm. EVA, smiling softly. Told you I'd be harder to find than to forget. Luke takes a breath. Doesn't move further in. Luke. You disappeared, EVA. I left before I could talk myself out of this. Luke. This? She walks slowly toward him. Not fast. Not shy, EVA bringing you here. Telling the truth, standing still. Luke's eyes trace the room. Every inch expensive. Clean. Cold. Luke. This your real world? EVA, softly. No. Beat. Just the one I escaped to. And now, maybe the one I want to reshape. She walks to a nearby table. Hands him a folder. Inside, photos of vintage cars. Dusty, broken. Each one circled with restoration notes in her handwriting. EVA. My family owns a museum. One of the wings is in ruins. They wanted to tear it down. I want to restore it. Properly. With someone who knows what second chances look like. Luke stares at the papers. Then at her. Luke, why me? EVA? Because you didn't ask me to explain myself. You just opened your door. Beat. I wasn't running from someone. I was running to you. Some reunions don't come with flowers. They come with silence and a chance to build something you didn't know you needed. Halston Executive Suite. Continuous. Luke stands in the same spot, fingers brushing the edge of the folder. Luke. You're offering me a job? EVA, not just a job, a rebuild. The museum wing. It's more than history. It's what I ran from, and maybe what you could help restore. Luke sets the folder down, steps closer to the vintage car behind her, rusted, forgotten, but dignified. Luke. You know this one's missing more than just a spark plug, EVA, chuckles. Yeah, like most of us. Silence. Luke. You sure your people won't look sideways at someone like me? Eva. They already do. She steps closer. EVA. Let them. I've spent my whole life pretending to fit into a family that names their legacy in square footage. But when I broke down, it wasn't a boardroom that saved me. It was you. Your hands. Your silence. Luke. I'm not a project, Eva. EVA. Neither am I. Pauses. But maybe we're both part of something that still needs building. She looks out the window. The city sprawled beneath them. EVA. There's a full restoration plan. Top pay. Your name on the door. Only thing I can't guarantee is that it won't get messy. Luke. Messy, I know how to work with. They exchange a slow look, a quiet agreement built on everything they didn't say. Some offers sound like opportunities. Others feel like keys, not to a future, but to a self you forgot was waiting. Luke picks up the folder again. Nods. Luke. I'll need a decent wrench set. And a place to hang my girl's backpack. Halston Restoration Wing, morning. A large industrial space echoes with clanks and tools humming. The museum garage smells of leather, oil, and old stories. Glass walls separate it from an upper observation lounge where executives sip lattes and pretend to care. Luke, now in clean coveralls with his name embroidered fresh, steps into the space with his tool bag and a hesitant breath. Around him, younger mechanics, slick uniforms, spotless boots, chuckling among themselves. A few glance his way, not kindly. Mechanic number 1 whispers to number 2. Who's the junkyard rescue? Mechanic number 2, must be charity work. Heard he drove a '98 Chevy here. Luke doesn't flinch, just walks to the car he's assigned, a 1961 Ferrari 250 GT, rusted but still proud. He lays his hands on the hood like it's a living thing. Sometimes the silence around you isn't empty. It's waiting for you to believe you don't belong. Later, hours pass. Sweat darkens Luke's shirt. Grease streaks across his arm. He works alone while others joke and sip coffee. Then, MIA, OS. Daddy? Luke turns. Mia stands at the edge of the garage, holding her backpack, face beaming. Luke, smiling softly. Hey, bug. Thought you were reading upstairs. She rushes to him and hugs his leg. Mechanic, number 1, mocking. What is this? Bring your kid to work day? Mechanic number 2. Junkyard rat runs a daycare now. Luke gently kneels beside Mia, his hand steady on her back. MIA, softly. Why are they mean? Luke, because sometimes people laugh at what they don't understand. Respect doesn't come from uniforms. It comes from what you build, even while they tear you down. Luke stands tall, turns back to the Ferrari, and keeps working. Halston Restoration Wing, late evening. The garage is quiet now. Everyone's gone. Only the ticking of cooling engines and the faint echo of the city outside remains. Luke stands alone by the Ferrari, wiping oil from his hands, not because it's dirty, but because he doesn't know what else to do. He stares into his reflection in the car's polished bodywork, his flannel under the uniform, calloused hands, heavy eyes. There's a kind of silence that settles in when you realize you don't belong, not because they told you, but because you finally believe it. He walks to the back wall where his daughter's drawing is pinned, the one with the hearts for wheels. His fingers linger on the edge of the page. He leans back against the workbench and exhales, talking to the quiet. Luke, this place smells like money, like it's never seen a busted knuckle or a second-hand part. Beat. I tried, love. I really tried. Flash. Old trailer home, night, years ago. Luke's wife, hair in a messy bun, kisses a younger Mia goodnight. She turns to Luke and smiles through tired eyes. Wife, you fix things no one else will touch. One day, that'll matter. Back to present. Luke closes his eyes tight. Luke, it's not that I can't do the work. It's just, maybe I was never meant for glass towers. Footsteps. Mia appears in the doorway holding a juice box. MIA? Are we going home? Luke pauses. Maybe. Maybe we never left it. She walks up to him, takes his hand. MIA. You fix broken things, Daddy. Maybe that's what she needed. Luke doesn't answer, but he holds her hand tighter. Luke's bedroom above the garage, night. Luke sits on the edge of his bed, the city lights flickering through the blinds. Mia sleeps soundly, curled under a blanket on a small mattress beside him, stuffed bear tucked beneath her arm. He holds the blanket Eva left behind, fingers tracing the stitched edge. Thoughts swirl, too loud for sleep. He opens the nightstand drawer and pulls out a photo album. Inside, faded photos, oil-stained smiles, a younger Luke, his wife, wild curls and paint on her jeans, their old trailer, their first beat-up car, and one photo. His wife kissing a newborn Mia's forehead in a hospital gown, eyes closed like she knew time was short. He runs a thumb across her face. Grief doesn't come with noise. It comes with echoes, the kind that arrive long after the world has gone quiet. Flash. Trailer. Kitchen. Evening. Years ago. Luke's wife stirs soup on the stove, humming. He watches her from the doorway, arms crossed, tired but happy. Wife. You always think fixing things makes you enough. Luke, doesn't it? She turns, hands on hips, amused and sad. Wife, one day, someone's gonna need more than your tools. They'll need the part of you you've been hiding. Luke. What part? She walks over, presses her hand to his chest. Wife. This one? And when that moment comes, don't run from it. Back to present. Luke closes the album gently, looks down at Mia, sleeping peacefully. He whispers to the dark, Luke. I didn't run this time. And for the first time in a long while, he lets the silence feel safe. Museum garage, midday. The restoration wing hums gently. Less tension, more focus. Sunlight pours in through the skylight, softening the chrome and steel. Luke crouches beside a young boy, maybe 4, sitting on a crate, gripping a small wrench in both hands. The boy's dark curls bob as he concentrates. Luke. No, not too tight. You want the bolt to respect you, not fear you. The boy giggles. Boy, how can a bolt be scared? Luke shrugs. Same way people are. Sometimes too much pressure breaks them. EVA, OS. He only listens to you when you talk like that. Luke turns. Ava, dressed down in jeans and a blazer, leans against the tool bench, arms folded. Her expression amused, but watching closely. Luke. Some lessons don't fit in a textbook. She walks closer, watching the boy beam under Luke's guidance. EVA. I've had 5 therapists try to connect with him. You did it in 2 afternoons. Luke. I didn't try to fix him, just gave him something real to hold. Eva kneels beside her son, brushing a curl from his cheek. EVA. What do you call that tool again? Boy torque wrench. Luke, smart kid. Must run in the family. Eva looks at Luke. Softly. EVA. I never really learned how to bend. Luke. Good thing I'm teaching you. They laugh quietly. For a moment, the air is light. Some people rebuild engines. Others rebuild trust. One gentle turn at a time. As the boy runs off to show Mia his wrench, Ava remains kneeling, looking up at Luke. Expression unreadable. But something shifting. Halston Museum Courtyard. Late afternoon, the golden hour spills over marble fountains and rust-colored vines trailing old brick walls. Luke wipes grease from his hands, watching Mia and Eva's son race between the benches, giggling over something only children understand. Eva approaches from behind, holding 2 paper cups, EVA tea. Not coffee. Figured you'd judge me less. Luke. Only if you don't add sugar. She smirks, hands him a cup. They sit side by side on a stone ledge, not touching, but not distant. EVA. Do you always stay this late? Luke depends on whether something's broken or just quiet. EVA. And today? Luke, bit of both. She watches the kids. EVA. He's smiling more. Sleeping more, too. Beat. You're good for him, Luke. He looks over at her, hesitant, unsure if he should say it. Luke. You're good for him, too. You just forgot. A soft silence. The kind that invites truth. EVA. Would you two come over for dinner? Luke turns slowly. Luke. You cook? Eva. I order. Very effectively. They both laugh. Luke. Why? Eva. Because I don't want another meeting. I want a moment. One where we're not hiding behind jobs or broken cars or careful small talk. Luke studies her face. There's something raw beneath the polish now. Luke, you sure you want us at your table? EVA. Pauses. I'm sure I don't want to sit at mine. If you're not there, there's a difference between being invited and being wanted. Luke nods, slow and real. Luke, we'll come, EVA's townhouse. Dining room, night. The room is warm, walls lined with soft lights. A fireplace crackles gently in the corner. Luke sits at the table with Mia beside him, napkin tucked awkwardly in her shirt. Eva's son nudges her and whispers something that makes them both laugh. Eva watches from the kitchen doorway. She isn't dressed up, just a soft sweater, sleeves pushed to her elbows. Her hair is loose. Real, EVA. Hope you like lasagna. Luke depends. Is it yours or the delivery guy's? EVA. It's from the Italian place down the block. But I plated it like a chef. They laugh, too easily, too gently. Later. Living room. The kids are asleep on a pile of cushions by the fireplace, a cartoon still playing at low volume. Luke and Ava sit on opposite ends of the couch, silence stretching between them again. Not tension, just wait. EVA. I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Luke. I figured I imagined you. Rain does that sometimes. She smiles faintly. EVA. I used to think my story ended the day I left him. That all I was escape. Luke watches the firelight flicker against her cheek. EVA. But then you came along, and didn't ask me to explain. You just stood there like, pauses. Like home. Luke. I don't know what I am anymore, but I know how to stay. Her eyes glisten, but she doesn't cry. EVA. You didn't just save my baby. You reminded me to breathe. Some healing doesn't happen in hospitals. It happens on quiet couches beside old flames when the past finally exhales. She leans in, their foreheads touch. Eva's townhouse. Living room, morning. Soft sunlight filters in through gauzy curtains. Mia and Eva's son sit on the living room floor surrounded by colored pencils and paper. Their drawings spill out in every direction. Crooked houses, superheroes, a car with wings. Luke sips coffee in the kitchen, watching the quiet from a distance. Ava walks up beside him, tying her robe. Eva. You didn't sleep. Luke didn't want to. She doesn't ask why. Instead, they both watch the kids, EVA's son, holding up a drawing. This is you, and this is me. And that's Mom. MIA. Why am I taller? Eva's son, because you're older. But I have more hair. They giggle. Then, suddenly, the boy turns to Luke and holds up the picture again. EVA's son. And that's Daddy. The world stops. Luke freezes. Eva inhales sharply. MIA. That's my dad, EVA's son. He can be mine too. Right? A long-waited pause. Luke's hands slowly lower the coffee mug. His eyes lock with Ava's. Luke, slowly. I don't know what to say. EVA whispers. You don't have to say anything. She walks over to her son, kneels beside him. EVA. Why'd you call him that? Eva's son. Because when I had a bad dream, he stayed. And when I was scared, he made me laugh. Eva's lips tremble. She looks at Luke, wide-eyed, stunned. EVA, quietly to herself. He's never said that before. Some names aren't earned by blood. They're earned by presence, by the quiet moments where love is offered without being asked. Luke kneels too. Luke, you okay with sharing a dad? Eva's son. Big smile. Only if I can sit in the front seat. They all laugh. But Ava's eyes, they're full of something new. Halston Museum. Employee parking lot, evening. The sky bruises purple. Streetlights blink on like slow blinks from an old giant. Luke steps out of the back garage door, toolbox in one hand, Mia's pink backpack in the other. He sets the box in his truck bed, humming quietly. In the reflection of the tailgate, headlights flash. He turns. Nothing. He glances up at the rooftop. Then the street. An SUV sits parked across the road. Dark windows. Engine running low. Too new. Too still. Luke mutters. You lost, friend? No answer. The engine hums. SUV, same time. A gloved hand holding a pair of binoculars. The lens tightens on Luke's face, then on Mia skipping down the back steps toward him, then zooms in on the garage entrance. Back to Luke. He senses it, something crawling beneath his skin. He opens the passenger door for Mia. Luke inside, bug. Now, MIA. Why? Luke. Just trust me. She climbs in, confused but obedient. He shuts the door gently, then looks back across the street. The SUV's lights go off. Engine silences. And just like that, it pulls away. Some things don't knock. They watch. They wait. Truck, moving, night. Luke drives with one hand tight on the wheel, eyes scanning every mirror. Mia chews on a cracker in the back, humming. MIA. Daddy? Why do people sit in cars with their lights off? Luke swallows. Doesn't answer right away. Luke, sometimes, they're not ready to be seen. His jaw tightens, but his gut knows that wasn't random. And Ava's past? It just found their future. EVA's townhouse, kitchen, night. The kitchen lights are low. Only the overhead stove light glows. Ava stands at the sink, drying a plate. Her hands move slowly, more for distraction than duty. Luke enters, closes the back door behind him, silent. He tosses his truck keys on the counter. She looks up, reads his face immediately. EVA. He's here, isn't he? Luke doesn't answer, just nods once. Luke SUV. Tinted. Watching the shop, Eva's body stiffens. Her knuckles whiten around the plate. EVA. How long? Luke, today? Maybe yesterday, too. She sets the plate down. EVA. He doesn't want the baby. Never did. Beat. But he wants control. Wants silence. Luke and your son? Eva doesn't know who he is, and I intend to keep it that way. Luke steps closer. Luke, tell me what happened, Ava. All of it. She leans against the counter, staring into the dark, beyond the window. EVA. He was a politician's son. Handsome. Golden. Said all the right things until I stopped saying yes. Beat. I didn't leave because I was scared. I left because he made me invisible. Luke swallows hard, every word hitting deeper than the last. EVA. When I got pregnant, he told me to fix it. When I didn't, he vanished. But his lawyers didn't. Luke puts a hand on the counter beside her. Not touching her, just anchoring her. Luke. What does he want now? EVA. To remind me that people like me don't get peace. And people like you don't get involved. She finally looks at him. EVA. But you already did, didn't you? Some ghosts don't haunt with chains. They haunt with paperwork, and silence, and power. Luke nods. Luke. Yeah, I'm in it now. Downtown family court, outside hearing room, day. The marble floors gleam under artificial light. Echoes of polished shoes and quiet conversations fill the air. Luke stands in jeans and his best button-up, clutching a wrinkled file folder. Beside him, Eva, blazer crisp but jaw tight, reads over a custody petition with trembling fingers. She looks around. Lawyers in tailored suits, clipboards, cold eyes, EVA. They're going to eat me alive. Luke. Then they'll have to chew through me first. The courtroom doors open. A clerk gestures. Clerk. Ms. Halston Wright. You're up. They enter. Courtroom, moments later. Long wooden benches. A raised bench where the judge peers over glasses. Across the aisle, Eva's ex's legal team. Polished, professional, predatory. Judge Ms. Halston Wright. You're requesting full physical and legal custody? Eva. Steady. Yes, Your Honor. Judge, is the father present? Her mouth opens. But she falters. Luke steps forward. Luke. I'm not the father, Your Honor, but I'm the one who stayed. The courtroom stirs. The opposing lawyer frowns. Opposing lawyer. And you are? Luke, the man who helped deliver the child. The man who held him while she cried. The man who never once asked, What's in it for me? The judge leans forward. Judge, you realize you're not legally involved? Luke, I realize love doesn't wait for paperwork. It just shows up. Eva's eyes fill. Even the opposing counsel pauses. Some titles are earned in silence, in late-night drives, in quiet kitchens, in standing beside someone when the room tells you to sit down. The judge exhales, nods once. The case continues. But something has shifted. Luke doesn't sit. He just stands, like a wall between them and what's coming. Luke's original garage. Next day, the familiar clatter of wrenches, the smell of gasoline, and half-fixed trucks crowd the shop's narrow space. Luke steps inside with a hesitant kind of nostalgia. The same grease-stained walls, the same calendar still stuck on last month. At the far workbench, Eddie, mid-50s, longtime friend and fellow mechanic, wipes his hands with a shop rag. Eddie, well, thought the Marble Palace swallowed you up for good. Luke didn't think I needed permission to visit. Eddie, you didn't. But people talk. You know, Luke crosses his arms. Luke, people always do. Eddie, word is, you're babysitting a rich woman's kid now, giving up your life for someone else's mess. Luke, it's not a mess. It's a family, Eddie. Her kind ain't family. They come down here, play broken for a while, then toss you aside once they remember who they are. Luke stays quiet, but his jaw tightens. Eddie, Contadee. You walked away from the shop, from the loyalty. Now you're fixing show cars and playing house in a mansion. Luke, I walked away from staying small, and if that makes you uncomfortable, maybe it's because you never left. The words hang heavy. Eddie, you think she'll still be around when the storm hits? Luke, I don't know, but I'd rather lose business than lose myself. He turns to leave. Pauses. Luke, Conti D. And Eddie? Next time someone chooses love over comfort, clap for them. Don't bite your tongue on their dreams. Sometimes your past doesn't try to pull you back with chains. It does it with silence, shame, and the sound of old friends pretending they never settled. Luke walks out, head high, grease on his hands, steel in his spine. Luke's garage. Night. The lights hum softly above scattered tools. The old shop feels different now, less like a place for fixing engines, more like a place where Luke lets his guard down. Rain taps lightly on the tin roof. The sound of memory. Eva stands in the doorway, soaked in more than just the weather. Mascara smudged, shoes forgotten, shoulders hunched like she's trying not to break. Luke, Eva? She steps in, doesn't speak. He sets down the wrench, walks to her slowly. She doesn't meet his eyes, until she finally does. Fie. I can't keep pretending I know how to handle this. I stand in boardrooms and everyone listens. But when I'm alone, pause. I don't even know who I am anymore. Luke waits. Silent. Safe. EVA. I've spent years building a version of myself no one could hurt. No cracks, no chaos. But then I met you, and all the armor started falling off. And now I'm scared I'll need it again. Her voice trembles. Eva. Con TD. He's coming. And I'm tired. I'm tired of always waiting for the next blow. Luke steps forward. Luke, then let me stand in front of it. EVA, whispers. Why? Luke. Because some people fix cars. Some people fix hearts. You didn't ask for either, but I showed up anyway. She finally breaks. Tears stream down her face. She presses her forehead into his chest. EVA. I want to feel safe again. He wraps his arms around her. EVA, Conti D. And you feel like safety. Sometimes the strongest people aren't the ones who fight alone. They're the ones who finally say, I can't, and let someone else whisper, you don't have to. Luke's garage, workbench area, the next morning. A soft morning sun pours through the high windows, illuminating floating dust like gold. Luke stands at his workbench, bent over a small object covered in grime and rust. It's not a carburetor. It's an antique music box, delicate, fragile and still beautiful beneath years of neglect. Ava sits nearby on a stool, watching him quietly, arms folded around a mug of coffee she hasn't touched. EVA. I found that in a shoebox, in my father's attic after he died. It played a song I forgot I loved. Luke gently pries the box open, gears exposed like an old wound. Luke. The parts are intact, just jammed. Dust does that, EVA, so does time. He looks at her. She smiles faintly. EVA, con TD. It used to lull me to sleep when my mom was still around. Then one day it stopped. Like everything else in that house, Luke takes a fine brush, cleaning the gears one by one. Luke. Sometimes things don't break. They just get tired of being ignored. He adjusts the winding key. A tiny click. Then, a soft, trembling melody begins. The music is shaky, then steadier, then whole. Eva's lips part slightly, eyes glassy. She walks over, kneels beside him. Listening, EVA. I didn't think it would still work, Luke. It didn't forget how to sing. Just needed someone to believe it could again. They listen in silence. The music curls around them, delicate and haunting, like childhood, like memory, like healing. Some songs don't need lyrics. Some love stories begin in the spaces where broken things remember they're not worthless. Eva looks at him, hand on the edge of the bench. EVA, softly. You fix everything you touch. Even me, Luke's garage, night. The space is transformed. Old string lights dangle above workbenches, casting a soft golden glow. Tools are tucked away, oil stains hidden under a large checkered cloth. In the middle of the floor, space, open, waiting. Mia and Ava's son are asleep in the upstairs loft, tucked beneath blankets and dreams. Ava walks in, barefoot, in an oversized sweater. She stops in the doorway, eyebrows raised. EVA. This what garage work looks like now? Luke. Tonight it does. He hits a switch. A small Bluetooth speaker crackles, then plays a soft, vintage tune, something with a waltz rhythm and old heartache. Luke holds out a hand. Luke, con TD. Dance with me, EVA. I haven't danced in years. Luke, me neither. But I think we've earned a slow song. She walks to him, hesitates, then places her hand in his. He pulls her in gently. His boots shuffle. Her steps follow. The music swells. EVA. This is ridiculous. Luke. Yep, EVA, and kind of perfect. They laugh softly, swaying beneath the flickering bulbs. Between grease-stained walls and a silent night. EVA, after a beat. What if this is a pause before the storm? Luke. Then we make it the most beautiful pause we can. They dance in silence. Foreheads touch. EVA. What if we stopped surviving? Whispers. And started living? Luke doesn't respond with words. He pulls her closer, eyes closed, as if anchoring this moment in memory. Love doesn't always roar in. Sometimes it shows up in work boots and music no one else hears. Outside, the wind shifts. Inside, two hearts do too. Halston Museum, front lobby, day. The museum buzzes with quiet activity. School tours, distant chatter, the soft echo of footsteps. Luke pushes a dolly stacked with vintage car parts across the marble floor when he sees Ava standing stiffly by the front desk. Her face is pale. Next to her stands a man in an expensive charcoal gray suit, flanked by two others, lawyers with shark eyes. Luke stops. Luke, Eva? She doesn't respond at first. Her voice, when it comes, is measured, but trembling. EVA. He's here. From behind the suited men steps Julian Vale, early 40s, all charm and teeth. His smile is smooth, but his presence is poison. Julian, Eva. You look radiant. Motherhood suits you, even if you tried to keep it private. Luke, low. You need something? Julian gives Luke a quick once-over, a flick of the eye, like glancing at dirt on a shoe. Julian, and you must be the… Mechanic. How quaint. He slides a folded legal document across the reception desk. Julian, Conti D. Petition for full custody. And an injunction. I'm tired of hiding, EVA. You were never hiding. You were just hoping I'd disappear. Julian. Ava, come now. You're not thinking clearly. Your little garage fairy tale ends today. Luke steps in between them, calm but firm. Luke. You can take your lawyers, your money, your name, but you don't get to take that boy, Julian? Oh? And what do you have to offer? Luke, everything that matters. Some men build empires, others build trust. Only one lasts when the storm hits. Julian. You can have the museum. Eva. Just give me the child. Eva looks at Luke, her fingers trembling at her side. Luke's apartment above the garage. Night. A windstorm rattles the windows. Luke enters from the rain, jacket soaked, boots tracking mud across the hardwood floor. Mia is asleep on the couch, curled beneath a blanket. He notices a paper bag near the door. Ava's handwriting on the side. Forgot these. Thought you might need them. Inside, a change of clothes for her son, and a small manila envelope. He hesitates. It's already torn open. Sometimes truth doesn't come knocking. It comes folded inside the quiet things you were never supposed to touch. He pulls out a stack of letters. Dated months ago. From Eva, addressed to someone only by initials. Some crumpled. One never sent. He reads. Slowly. I'm scared I'll have to leave again. Before anyone gets too close. He's kind. But kind men don't always stay when the past walks in with paperwork. If it happens, I won't say goodbye. It'll hurt less. Luke lowers the letter. His hands shake, but not with anger, with fear. Footsteps behind him. EVA, OS. You weren't supposed to read those. Luke turns. Eva stands at the door. No coat, hair windswept, soaked. Luke. Were you planning to leave again? EVA, I didn't write those yesterday. I wrote them when I still believed storms were permanent. Luke. So what changed? She walks closer, stops just short of touching him. Eva, you. He exhales. The storm outside mirrors the one inside. Trust isn't about knowing they'll stay. It's about believing they want to. He drops the letters on the table, but not her hand. Luke's garage. Next morning. The shop is still, the tools untouched. No music, no laughter, no sign of Ava. Luke stands at the center of the room, turning slowly. Like maybe if he spins long enough, she'll still be standing in the doorway, holding coffee, rolling her eyes at his mess. But she's gone. Some goodbyes don't slam doors. They just don't show up when the coffee's cold and the sun's rising. He checks his phone. No texts, he dials. Straight to voicemail. Upstairs, Mia tiptoes down the steps, clutching her bear. MIA, is Miss Ava still sleeping? Luke kneels. Luke, she went somewhere for a little bit. MIA, like Mama? Luke pauses. Luke. No, Bug. Not like that. Eva's townhouse. Day intercut. Sunlight floods empty rooms. Toys in a basket. Plates in the sink. A child's drawing still magneted to the fridge. The front door is wide open. No bags. No notes, just absence. Luke's garage. Night. Luke paces, wrench in hand, but can't remember what he meant to fix. He opens the glove compartment of his truck, finds a small pair of baby shoes, the ones Ava's son wore when they met. He sets them on the bench, stares. You don't always know when it's the last time, but silence has a sound when it replaces someone's voice. Suddenly, the garage phone blinks. One voicemail. Luke hesitates, then presses play. EVA, VO. Recorded, voice trembling. Luke, I didn't want to do this like this, but I didn't know how to stay without bringing danger with me. I just need time to figure out if I'm brave enough. To come back, static. Then silence. Luke closes his eyes. Luke, then I'll wait. Riverside Motel, evening. The neon sign flickers. Riverview Inn. A two-story building with peeling paint and curtains that haven't moved in years. Luke's truck pulls into the gravel lot, tires crunching beneath him. He steps out, holding a folded drawing, a picture Mia drew of all four of them. Herself, Ava, the boy, and him. He walks up to room 6. Knocks, nothing. Knocks again, firmer. The door opens slowly. Eva stands there, hair tied back, eyes red, face bare of everything but exhaustion. Her son clings to her leg, thumb in mouth, Luke. You didn't even leave him a note, EVA. I couldn't. Luke, you disappeared, EVA. I panicked. She opens the door wider. Inside, dim light, a suitcase half-packed, fast food wrappers, a sleeping bag on the floor, EVA, Con TD. I told myself it'd just be a night. Then one night became 2, and then I remembered what hiding felt like. Luke steps inside. Luke, this isn't hiding. This is erasing yourself. She looks down. Guilty, EVA. I didn't leave because I stopped trusting you. I left because I stopped trusting myself. He kneels down, looks her son in the eye. Luke, you doing okay, buddy? The boy nods, then hugs Luke tight without warning. Luke wraps his arms around him, quiet, strong. He looks up at Eva. Luke, Contidi. Come home, EVA. What if I mess it up again? Luke? Then we clean up together. Sometimes coming back isn't brave because you missed someone. It's brave because you think you don't deserve to. She walks into his arms. The boy squeezes tighter, and the storm outside rolls past. Luke's garage, night. Rain dots the windows like a slow metronome. Luke kneels beside an old Chevy pickup, half restored. Rust still clings to the corners. He runs a cloth across the hood like he's polishing a memory. Ava stands in the doorway, arms crossed, watching. EVA. That's the one you towed back the day after I vanished. Luke didn't feel right letting it rot. She walks closer, silent for a moment. EVA. You always fix things when you're hurt? Luke. Only the ones worth keeping. He hands her a wrench. She kneels beside him, brushing her fingers along the bumper. EVA. You think some things are too far gone? Luke. No such thing. He opens the driver's side door. On the worn passenger seat lies a note. Her handwriting, Ava reads it silently, then glances at him. EVA. You'll always have a place in my story. Luke. You left it in the glove box of your car. She folds the note slowly. Looks up EVA. I didn't know you'd look there, Luke. I was hoping I'd find something that said, come back. Eva's voice drops to a whisper. Eva. What if I can't be whole? Luke. Then I'll love you in pieces. Some things don't have to be perfect. They just need to be chosen. Again and again and again. He closes the hood gently, offers his hand, Luke, softly. If I had to choose between fixing engines or fixing hearts, I'd choose yours every time. Ava smiles. Not fully, but enough. She takes his hand, and for the first time in a long time, she lets someone steady her. Luke's garage apartment, early morning. The sun peeks through soft curtains, casting golden stripes across the floor. Luke brews coffee. Eva sits at the kitchen table, sleepy but calm, holding her son close in her lap. The boy clutches a cereal box, focused on every bite. Mia sits on the floor nearby with a box of crayons and a quiet purpose in her hands. She hums as she draws. Every now and then she looks up, stares at Ava, then back down to her paper. EVA. What's she working on? Luke. Something that'll make you cry, probably. EVA. Chuckles softly. I doubt that. Mia stands suddenly, paper in hand. MIA. I made something. She walks over and places the drawing in front of Eva. A house with a garage, flowers, a tree, 4 stick figures. Luke, Ava, Mia, and Eva's son, all holding hands. Hearts float above their heads. Maya, pointing. That's me. That's Daddy. That's you. And that's my almost brother. EVA, already tearing up. Almost? My A. Because I didn't know if I was allowed to call you Mom yet. Eva's hand covers her mouth. EVA. You can call me whatever makes you feel safe. Mia leans into her. MIA. I think I want to call you Mom. Someday. Eva gently pulls Mia into her lap. Luke, quietly, to himself. She drew what we haven't said out loud yet. Sometimes kids see the future before we dare to believe in it. And sometimes, all it takes is a crayon to make us brave. Eva kisses the top of Mia's head and doesn't let go. Family courtroom day. The courtroom is cold, clinical, and unforgiving. The judge sits high above. Lawyers shuffle papers. A court recorder's fingers tap like a steady metronome. Eva sits at the front, her face tight, lips pressed together. Her son clings to her side. He doesn't understand, but he knows something feels wrong. Across the aisle, Julian sits in a dark suit, his smirk carved in granite. Luke stands behind Eva. No lawyer, no badge, just presence. Judge, Ms. Halston Wright, you are contesting custody on what grounds? AVA protection. Pause. And love. The opposing lawyer stands smug. Opposing lawyer. Your Honor, the child deserves stability, legacy, and resources. Mr. Vale is offering all three. And who, may I ask, is this man sitting beside her? Luke steps forward before Eva can speak. Luke, I'm not here with a title. I'm here with time. Whispers ripple through the courtroom. Luke, Conti D. I changed his diapers, packed his lunches. I was there when he had nightmares. I was there when she broke, and helped her put herself back together. Opposing lawyer. And legally, you are? Luke, steady. The man who didn't leave. The courtroom quiets. Judge Mr. Vale, would you like to respond? Julian stands. Julian. It's not about love. It's about blood. Luke, blood is biology. Love is showing up when no one's looking. He turns to the judge. Luke, Conti D. You may not see us in paperwork, but that boy, he calls me Dad. Because I earned it, not with money. With presence. Anyone can father a child, but it takes a soul to father a life. Eva's hand finds Luke's, and this time, she's not the one shaking. Family courtroom. Moments later, silence drapes the courtroom like a heavy cloth. The judge reviews the final documents, glasses sliding down his nose, pen tapping softly against the desk. Eva holds her breath. Luke sits beside her, posture straight, jaw set, calm on the outside, war zone within. Across the room, Julian leans back, smug. Confident money still wins. The judge finally speaks. Judge, in the matter of custody regarding the minor child. Eva grips Luke's hand tightly. Judge, Conti D. The court has reviewed all testimony, character references, and behavioral reports. A beat. Judge, Conti D. And finds that the child's best interest is served by remaining in the custody of Ms. Eva Halston Wright. Gasps ripple through the benches. Julian's lawyers scramble. Julian's face, stunned, colorless. Eva exhales, a sob escaping her lips before she even realizes it. Judge, Conti D. Furthermore, the court acknowledges Mr. Luke Whitaker's role as a significant emotional figure in the child's life. His petition for guardianship, should it be filed in the future, will be strongly considered. Sometimes justice doesn't arrive like thunder. It arrives like a breath you didn't know you were holding finally let go. Luke places his hand over Eva's. She turns to him, tears brimming. Eva, whispers. We won? Luke, no. You did. They rise. Julian stands, stares, as if trying to understand how love outmaneuvered legacy. Eva turns back to the judge, nods gratefully, then to Luke. EVA. Now we get to write our own story. Luke's garage apartment. A few weeks later, morning. Soft light streams through fresh white curtains. The garage is still modest, same walls, same layout, but now carries the scent of new beginnings. Photos line the shelf. Mia's drawings, Eva's son in Luke's arms, the four of them smiling in mismatched pajamas. The camera pans slowly, details emerging like memories. A backpack by the door, a toothbrush next to two others, tiny shoes beside grown-up work boots. Sometimes home isn't four walls and a mortgage. It's where your soul exhales, and your kids laugh without fear. Garage, kitchen, same. Eva flips pancakes. Luke pours juice, mouthing the lyrics to an old country song playing on the radio. Mia dances in a twirl, hair messy, face bright. Eva's son toddles clumsily through their legs, squealing with joy. Luke, you think if I fix this old radio, it'll stop playing sad songs? EVA. Why would we want that? He looks at her, eyes locked. EVA, con TD. Sad songs brought us here. Luke. Yeah, but you made the ending happy. They smile. Garage, night. A thunderstorm rattles outside. Inside, warmth. Eva rests against Luke on the couch. Mia is asleep, head in Eva's lap. The boy is curled into Luke's side, snoring. The camera pulls back. The storm continues, but inside, it's calm. He gave her a ride in the rain. She gave him a reason to come home. Garage, next morning. Mia tapes a new drawing to the door. It says, in crayon, "Home, where we got fixed." Luke steps outside and reads it, and smiles like a man who finally believes it. Auto shop, lunchtime, weekday. The garage buzzes with noise. Wrenches clank. Tires roll. Luke wipes grease off his hands, sipping coffee from a cracked thermos when Mr. Carrington, a sharply dressed businessman in a tailored coat, steps in. Carrington. Luke Whitaker? Luke depends. You selling insurance or trouble? Carrington chuckles and extends a business card. Carrington, I represent Delmont Automotive. We've seen the story. Read the headlines. People like stories like yours, Mr. Whitaker. They trust you. Luke squints, confused. Carrington, Conti D. How would you feel about being the face of our new Built from the Ground campaign? Luke laughs dryly. Luke, you want a mechanic with a half-burnt uniform and a garage apartment to sell SUVs? Carrington. We're offering $200,000. Upfront, silence. Carrington, Conti D. Of course you'd have to relocate. Chicago HQ. It's a one-year contract. Could be the start of something big. Luke's garage. That night. Luke stares at the offer letter in one hand, and Mia's crayon drawing in the other. Eva enters quietly, watching him. She already knows, EVA. You don't have to ask me. I wouldn't hold you back from more, Luke. It's not more if it costs me this. He gestures to the little home around them. EVA. Then why are your hands shaking? Luke looks down. Because this is what he dreamed of once. Being seen. Rising up, Luke. Because for the first time in my life, I don't want the world to see me. I just want you to. Some doors lead to glory. Others lead to home. Old junkyard, Sunday morning. Rusting metal glints under soft sunlight. Stacks of forgotten cars stand like steel statues. Doors hanging open. Memories still trapped inside glove compartments. Luke, Eva, Mia, and Eva's son walk between rows of wrecks. Each step creaks gravel. Each breath feels like peace rediscovered. MIA. Can we find treasure? Luke always, EVA. Define treasure. Luke. Anything that used to be broken, but still wants to be useful. Eva glances sideways at him, smirking. Montage in Maya finds a dusty bobblehead and puts it on Luke's shoulder. Eva's son pretends to drive a totaled minivan, shouting, "Vroom!" through a broken steering wheel. Luke teaches the kids how to spot salvageable chrome under rust. EVA watches them, her boys, her beginning. She pulls out her phone, goes to take a photo, then stops. and just watches. Some days don't get posted. They get remembered. They sit together on the hood of an old Ford truck, eating sandwiches wrapped in paper towels. EVA's son. Are all these cars gonna be fixed? Luke, some of them. Others gave the parts that helped something else live. EVA. Like your heart, Luke meets her gaze. EVA. Con TD. You gave your heart to everyone else, even when you didn't know if it would come back to you. Luke, I think it just did. Wide shot. 4 shadows stretch long in the golden light, surrounded by broken things, but feeling whole. Sometimes family isn't born. It's found. In scrap heaps. In soft silences. In Sunday mornings. Luke's garage. Late evening. The junkyard dust still clings to their boots. Ava is putting the kids to bed. Luke stands by the sink, washing grease from his hands. Slowly, deliberately. A knock. He opens the door to find Mason, a figure from his past. Once his best friend, now a memory in leather and cologne. Mason didn't think you'd still be here. Man, Luke didn't think you'd ever come back. Mason smiles sheepishly, holds up a small envelope. Mason found this when I was cleaning my mom's attic. It's the letter you wrote me from county lockup. Back when you took the fall for that car job. Luke's expression tightens. Mason, con to D. You said you wanted to fix things. Look at you now. Fixed, Luke. I'm not fixed. I'm just finally pointed in the right direction. Mason nods, serious now. Mason. I got a shop opening up in Atlanta, backed by real money this time. You've got skills, Luke, and I owe you. He pauses. Mason, Contide. You come with me, you'll never be broke again. Silence stretches. Luke. Why now? Mason, because I saw you on the news, and because loyalty's got an expiration date, and I missed mine. Garage. Later that night, Luke sits alone on the porch steps. The stars are out. The garage glows behind him. Ava steps out, wraps a sweater around his shoulders without saying a word. Some debts get paid in cash. Others get paid in staying. Luke looks at the envelope in his hand, then back at the window, where Mia's drawing still hangs. He doesn't open it. Kitchen. Early morning light. Steam rises from a chipped mug of coffee. Luke stands barefoot, flipping pancakes on a scratched skillet. He hums softly, a tune not for show, but survival, a rhythm of peace. Ava's son rushes in, backpack bouncing, shoes untied. EVA's son. We're gonna be late. Maya. OS. Not if you eat rocket-fast pancakes. Moments later, breakfast table. They sit together, a quiet ritual. Mia draws on a napkin with a blue crayon. Eva sips tea, observing the moment like it's gold. Luke. Eat up, future astronauts. Can't launch on an empty tank, EVA's son, Mom. Where's my other shoe? EVA, smirking. Probably where you left your last brain cell. They all laugh. Then, Maya slides her napkin, drawing across the table. Stick figures. 4 of them. Labeled in crooked kid writing. Me, brother, Mom, Dad. Luke's eyes freeze on the last one. He looks up. Mia is smiling, a crumb stuck to her cheek. MIA, softly. You don't mind, right? Luke's breath catches. Ava looks at him. Heart already bursting. Luke, quiet. Mind. That's the proudest I've ever been, to be drawn crooked. They all laugh again, but this time, it's deeper. Some titles are earned through blood. Others are whispered through love. School drop-off, moments later. Luke watches the kids run ahead. Mia turns, waves. MIA, bye, Dad. The word hangs in the air like sunlight. Luke doesn't respond right away. He just places a hand over his heart. Small town gas station. Late afternoon. The sky is painted with soft oranges and blues. Luke is pumping gas, the same old truck rumbling beside him. He's humming quietly, the kind of man who's found rhythm in the ordinary. A silver sedan pulls up beside him. Out steps a very pregnant woman. Not Eva. Not someone he knows. She struggles with her purse and a stroller wedged in the back seat. Luke watches for a beat, then steps in. Luke. Need a hand? Woman. Thank you, yes, please. My toddler dropped his toy under the seat. He fishes it out, makes the baby laugh. She looks at him curiously. Woman, can't D. You from around here? Luke. Born with grease on my hands 2 blocks down. They both chuckle. Woman, softly, watching him interact. You're good with kids. Luke shrugs modestly but smiles. Woman, con TD. My husband passed last year. It's been hard trusting strangers, but something about you just feels safe. Luke doesn't know what to say. Then, as she's getting in the car, she pauses. Woman, con TD. You remind me of someone who once gave me a ride and changed my life with just 1 sentence. Luke freezes. Her words ripple through him. Luke, quietly. What sentence? She smiles, remembering. Woman. He may have left, but your worth never did. A pause. Luke stares at her, heart thudding. Woman, Conti D. Funny thing is, I never got to thank him. She drives off. Luke stands stunned, the pump beeping. Sometimes the kindness we give circles back, not as a reward, but as a reminder that the life we changed was our own. Luke's garage. Daybreak. Sunlight slices through the dusty windows. The old garage hums with the sound of rebirth. Luke stands over a half-restored 71 Chevelle. Its frame was once rusted, lifeless. Now it gleams, imperfect, but undeniably alive. He's wiping his hands on a rag, grease still under his nails. But there's something sacred in the way he handles each bolt. Flashback. Overlaid images. Young Luke watching his dad rebuild engines? What? Luke teaching Mia to change a spark plug? Ava smiling as she carries iced tea into the garage. The chalkboard on the wall. All things can be rebuilt. Back to present. Mia runs in, holding a small sign made of cardboard. MIA. Can we hang this on the wall? Luke reads it. In bold letters, in crayon. Dad's heart-fixing station. He laughs, eyes stinging. Luke. I think that's the best shop name I've ever heard. They hang it right above the garage window EVA, OS. You've rebuilt more than just cars, Luke. He turns. She stands at the door, holding a box. Inside, family photos, Mia's drawings, and Luke's old name tag from a job he lost long ago, EVA, Conti D. Thought maybe it was time to give your story a new wall. Luke takes the box and sets it on the shelf. Some men build engines, some build homes, but the rarest rebuild hearts, starting with their own. The garage lights flicker on. Luke looks around at everything he's salvaged and smiles. Country road. Golden hour. A classic Chevelle rumbles down a quiet 2-lane road. Sunlight warms the hood like a blessing. Inside, Luke, behind the wheel, Eva beside him, Mia and her brother laughing in the back seat. The car windows are down. Wind rushes through. The radio plays an old soul song. Luke glances at the rearview mirror where a faded sticker reads, Keep going. The road remembers. Eva. Hard to believe this car used to sit in pieces. Luke, smiling. Some rides just need the right reason to start again. They pull into a small community center. A sign out front reads, Free rides for expecting mothers. Luke's Wheels of Hope. Waiting outside. A young pregnant woman, uncertain, her suitcase in hand. Luke steps out of the car, walks up to her, offers a gentle smile, and the front seat. Luke, wherever you need to go, we'll get you there. She hesitates, then nods. Trust blooming. Mia waves from the back seat. The woman smiles, touched. It started with a ride. A small act, for a stranger with swollen feet and tired eyes. But it became a bridge. Between classes, between wounds and healing, between lost men and found purpose. Chevelle. Moving, the car drives into the horizon. The wind, the laughter, the engine purring like a lullaby. Luke drives, not just with his hands, but with a heart finally whole. Some rides end at a destination. Others carry you home.